Hello guys, this is Manak here. Welcome back to our channel. So friends, will work today on a new building model. We'll complete the building model in Tekla Structural Designer here. The building model for this one, as you can see, this new building we are having here for the consultancy project, one of the consultancy projects. So we'll design it, and in the previous video we had shown how to make do the column positions and also create the DXF file of it. So you can check that out. And for our associate members, we will just upload the video of how to make the structural drawing part also. That part also we will channel members will do that. And for the students of the record session, we'll make this DXF file available for them. So if you want to join the record session of Tekla Structural Designer, you can do so using the link which has been provided in the description, and you can check out the current pricing and also do that. So that really helps us a lot. So to proceed forward, the learnings of Tekla in this video. So let's continue. So first of all, I'm going to make some construction levels here, and this is basically a G ground floor will be there, but I'll consider up to G+2, considering the future probability. So insert level below it, and just give a minus 1.2 meter. So and give an insert level above this, and do this as SSL structural slab level. Give the spacing as a 3.2 meter, 10 feet 6 inch, and then the default will keep the spacing as default. And after that we'll take a level above this, and this will be our G+1, and before that we can also forget to do that. Slab thickness, you need to mention this always, and then click here and insert another one. So we have the G+1, G+2 building we have here, and here if you can go to the structure tab, in the levels tab you have these options. So this is the base option. We'll go to the base option, and here we'll import the DXF file, and we'll go to the current project and import that. So this is our DXF file. We'll just import this, and only we want the center line now. Architectural grades, next, by layer, and import it in all the layers here, and click on finish. So we'll zoom in, and this is our architectural grades. Everything looks fine, and just import the grades once again, and this time we'll do it for your, just untick the center line, shadow, and click on and then click on finish, and then zoom it once again, and this time we'll do it for the process of your architectural grid as shadow. So this is done. So we'll just place the columns. So basically as you can see, this is 1150 square feet. So basically we'll go with let's say 250 to 250 columns, and we'll see later what should be done. And the design settings, I have done my nice design settings of my columns. As you can see here, I've done nice 12 to 16. G+1 should be more than that, and beam also, if you just want to check the beam settings also, I have done 10 to 16 for the beams. And for our foundations, I actually want to use 10 mm bars only. So I've gone with that. If something fails, I'll use 12 mm bars. So that's my plan and strategy. And Fe500 steel and M20 concrete, and your material of masonry, the fly ash bricks. Okay, so let's continue with this and go to model here, and we'll just go to columns. Let's define a column first, because this really helps us here. By default, everything they take only the size. I hope this entire structure is passing by 250 to 250 columns. I really hope so. Might have to use 250 to 300 somewhere. Let's see how the design results. So what do you guys think? Will I take higher? You can comment below. At this point, what do you think, that if it will go to 50, pass into 50, or it will take higher? What do you think? You can comment below. Okay. So since this has been done, what we'll do, we'll just turn on the automatic alignment and save this, and we'll do the C 250 cross 250, and okay. And once this is done, we'll select this once again, and after that we'll place it. This we have a column. The beauty of having the DXF file imported is that we have the locations, and we don't have to insert the nodes or anything. We know the location of columns beforehand, and we decide that, and after having it decided, we can easily place the columns as per our wish, and we can do that. So I guess we've placed our columns here. You can just click on escape and check it in 3D view. Use the right wheel cursor to rotate the model. As you can see here, the model has been done, and the base option, we'll just go to beam, and let's take the beam and define a beam first. First of all, I'll just make this section here. I hope here to use 250 into 300, and hope to use that. Okay, 250 may be used for the secondary beams, I think, and 300 may be used for the primary beams. I am assuming that, and let's see if the design passes or not. And I'll save this particular thing as B250 cross 250 and click on OK. And let's go for the secondary beams first. So starting from the top, let's see, have a look at the secondary beams. It will really want the secondary beams from here to here, one beam like this and another beam like this we want, and here this is primary beam anyway, and this one, okay, yeah, this one cannot miss. This one, there will be a secondary beam, and yeah, this is also secondary beam at one end fixed, this one, and one end pinned. And we must have some more. Yeah, this one, how can I miss this? The staircase one, this is one secondary beam, here also one secondary beam, and I think all the remaining beams will have column to column connection unless you want to join this beam, which I don't want to. I may give a conceal beam at the top. I may give a conceal beam at the top, but at the bottom I don't want to join this. If it makes the structure more stable, then I'll join let's say, I think this one or this one. I can choose from that, but right now I'm not planning to join any of them. So I'll just click on escape here, and I'll define the support conditions. Left side pinned, that is end 1 pinned and end 2 fixed. Double click 2 times, actually left click 2 times, it will open up pop-up, releases. End 1 is pinned, end 2 is fixed, and click on OK. This left side means end 1 is fixed, end 2 is, keep this as pinned, and this also same thing, end 2 will make this as pinned, and this remaining all are pinned. There are no column to column connection, so don't have to look in end 1 and end 2, all are pinned. So we're releasing the moments here. So once we for fixed, we have this mx, my and mz. When you do this as pinned, my and mz are released. So when this my and mz are released, this is the process to do that. So when there is pinned, we are allowing the rotations. When you are allowing the rotations bar, so the moment is released, there is no moment. Okay, so this is the things, and let's go for the beams. And I'm hoping to give a size of, let's say, 250 into 300, because these are the primary beams, and so you have to respect the fact that the load will be more. So let's go for the vertical or the horizontal first. This and this, sorry, this. We want to avoid the member collisions. I really hate that. Just horizontal ones, and I've decided on this. This is the case, and here also I think I have to release the moment at some places. So here I think I can join this. It will be suitable to join this particular fact, and I think I can join this also, just to give a continuity to it. I'll do it later. And this one I can decide whether to join or not. I'll join this anyway, and I'll join this as well. So this one I have joined, so this one I'm keeping, so that's my plinth level. I have an option of joining this as well. So let's check in the 3D view. As you can see, these are the primary beams which have been joined, and these don't have a column in this side anyway, so this is not joined. So it looks perfectly fine. All the primary beams are connected, which will enhance the strength and hopefully reduce the member sizes. So here also these both ends are fixed. Here is pinned, this one is pinned. So this is the arrangement which is of beams which is coming out. And if you can imagine, those a little bit accidents of site, here it will be periphery wall below it, and inside there will be sand filling, so there will be no slabs inside it. So this will be the arrangement for the plinth level, and we'll take pretty much the same arrangement, because they haven't planned for the next floor. So we'll take the same arrangement for the next floors as well. So For that we'll go to construction levels and go to 1 and make this as base and click on OK, and again come back and do this as unique, and we'll simply apply, go to this structure 1 level and take the slab, and apart from this, because we have a staircase here, and we'll just apply literally the slabs everywhere. We will not care about the one way 2A because we only want to take the load of the slabs into consideration. We are not going to design slabs here for the moment. So okay, let's take the dead loads. Okay, they'll take loading later. So once this is done, we'll go to construction levels and just copy this floor to the next 2 remaining floor levels. So once this is done, we'll go back to construction levels and make them as unique. Click on OK. So once they are unique, what we can do here, we can apply our loads. So go to structure base and go to this dead loads, and we'll take the load here and take the level load, the full UDL. So let's go here 11 and 5. So 11 are giving the 10-inch wall, 5 for the 5-inch wall. There is an external internal, and 11 applying loads simply by clicking. Very easy process. Those who have seen remaining of my videos also, so I'll quickly apply them. And staircase, I need to apply it the entire span of it. For this particular thing, this will be the garage portion, because so this will be parking, so I guess this will be 10-inch wall anyway, and this will also be 10-inch wall because the parking, this is a kind of an external wall for it. And if we want, we can reduce the load in this part, or rather, okay, so we'll keep it a little bit. More load you applied here, this can go down because this is a portico portion, so there won't be possibility of any 10-inch wall here. So okay, we'll keep it for now. And for the internal beams, we'll just go here, just go back to this 2D and apply it the full UDL of 5.5 here, 5.5, and this and this and this. So once this is done, so this is the loading process, and when this loading is done, just go to structure 1 and check the dead load here, full UDL and of 11, I think, yeah, for the external. And this time only give the external walls and the staircase portion here, because the next floor 1 2 3 4 5, and this one I'll use UDL only for single click, and 5.5 in the remaining portion, single click. And okay, I haven't checked for the validation of the member yet. Okay, I need to do that later now since I've already applied it. 5.5 to the remaining members. So I'll check the validation quickly. After this, I think there will be one validation error of member intersection. So let's take the loading here. So this is loading. Let me check the validation. There might be one error. Okay, that is okay. That is cool. No errors. So we'll again copy this loading to the next level, because it is the same, but we cannot copy to the terrace level. I guess you know why. Because in the terrace there will be parapet walls. There will be no walls above this. So only in the perimeter will apply, and obviously for the staircase headroom will apply. So just quickly going on to the next level here. Go to structure here. Go to structure 2. And in the structure 2, just turn on this particular option of dead loads, and the full UDL here, and this UDL of we just copy this in the structure 2. Just go to this option of model, construction levels, and we'll have this done as your 1, and click on OK. And after that, clicking on 1, this will just make this package unique, and click on OK once again. And after that, we'll just do for the terrace floor. The terrace floor, will just go here and select this as dead, and then go to load here, and then take the full UDL and take the 11. Let's complete this 2 with the staircase anyway here, and UDL of 11, and single click, and then single click here, and then the full UDL of your 2.5 for the parapet wall. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 8, 9. Now you can check the dead loads for the parapet wall like this, and you can go to structure 3D and you can check the dead loads here. So you can go to the imposed loads. You can take your level load of 2 kilonewton per meter square. This is a residential building anyway, so you can apply 2 kilonewton per meter square live load in this particular floors like this, and this is the imposed loads. And this is, go to model and go to construction levels and make them all unique. Just keep checking this, and after having done with this process and also having validated the model, the validation looks fine, dead and live loads apply, you can apply the seismic load. So I'm using a unique method for the seismic load in which there is less quantity of errors. I know we are doing static analysis, but people ask me, well, let's get to the step after that we tell. So this select the plinth level structure base. 1 is for residential, 1.2 for apartments, and 1.5 for commercial buildings and important buildings as per the IS 1893 latest edition. So click on next here. So people ask questions on me on this thing, this why I use this model response spectrum analysis when I'm going for static. So the answer is that it makes it may give a little bit higher side design because we are using a response spectrum analysis, but it gives in this software, it gives like lesser errors and lesser, we don't have to do things like including SFRS and like this. So I prefer this method. Slightly it will be, the results will be in the higher side, but you will get better results and you will get lesser errors and warnings. So I prefer using this. So there is, I don't think there is that is wrong in any way, because I'm going for dynamic analysis, which gives a little bit higher side design, but so my structure will not be unsafe or not considering less loads anyway. So let's go with next here, and just include the RC moment testing frame here and click on next here, and this moment frame systems we are selecting. The remaining thing pretty much the software selects itself. Shift and select this. I love to move all these things at once, and then click on finish. And then one thing, we have to generate the load combinations as per the Indian codes, and this is limit state method selected. Next and finish. Now the annoying thing is that after these again you have to define the load combination which will consider the remaining load. Click on generate, click on next, and limit state method selected, and then click on next and finish, and then click on OK. So this entire process has been done, and after that you can validate it once again. Since this is less than 10 meters, we are not going for the seismic load. So simply just go to design and then click on design on static. So here's, after this design on static, the design results can be observed. So what do you guys think, like will this design be safe? So those of you guys have commented whether the columns will be safe or not. Okay, almost, if those have written yes, I think some of them are safe, most of them are correct. One column, as you can see, this column, as you can see, this span, if you can see the span is large anyway. Just go to review and go to ratio, just get rid of the loadings, get rid of the slabs, not designing, come to here to design slabs anyway. Okay, so let's see the columns here. Yeah, this column is meant to fail. How can this 215 to 10 got such a large span? If we can go to model and just take the measurement here, measurement here, you can check this. Okay, check this out. This is it. So this is 6, this is 5 point measurement here written 5.4, 5.4, and this is 5 point, you can see 5.410. This is 5.410, and okay, this is large in both sides, so this is also 5.436. so 5.410 and 5.436 by design. This is actually this side is actually larger. So if we give by orientation, we have to give orientation along this side. So this one as well, this is 0.91 SIM. I think how much reinforcement we are having, design member static, and yeah, 8 bars of 16 mm we are having here, and we think we can reduce that a bit, just increase the size orientation along this side, and we are doing here 250 in place of 250 to 300, and then click on OK. And if I just design this, let's see, design selection, starting design this, yeah, it pretty much has safe, on the safer side. You will have the design, So the remaining designs we can check and validate and make them safe in the next process. The columns are safe pretty much. I think this is one column which is failing by a small amount, so we might need to increase the quantity along the orientation. So we'll do that in the next video. And if you want to support us, help us by joining our channel. This is a very small amount of I think 23 rupees per month. And if you want to learn and become a part of the recorded sessions, so this is recorded session groups, as you can see. Okay, so this is our recorded session group in which people keep asking their doubts and solutions are given. And as you can see, these are the students which have sent the doubts here. And this is a community, and and some doubts the students or the participants, they solve themselves. To total we have very few members in comparison to the YouTube channel which we have, but they are professionals, and some are students who are working and they are asking questions, and these are answered. Actually, I think I have to answer this question which I haven't answered till now. So this is the recorded session. You can join the recorded session. The link has been given in the description of every video here, so you can see. So you can see that I've opened in the video. So okay, I think I need to push it up. So this is the link for, if you just open the description, this is the link for the recorded session of the D+1 building, D+3 building design in Tekla Structural Designer. So you can click that, and I also don't know about the pricing they have said. So let's see. Okay, currently it is 7,500 the pricing, and okay, this is the pricing. So I can just join, fill up this, and you can make the payment, and after that you can join our particular course. So that's it. And in which in our course everything up to the completion of the final structural drawing. That is, I'm just showing you the the AutoCAD file rather. Final structural drawing like this, all the concept. There will be 30 classes of 1 hour each. This final structural drawing will be taught, all the aspects, and apart from that, the planning part as per the Vastu concepts and the planning space considerations, those part will be taught, and the client dealing part, like how to do that. So these things will be taught. If you want to join that, you can join the live sessions or the recorded session, whichever is preferable to you. So these are the case which have been covered, and hope to see you in the upcoming videos. Please like this video, it helps us a lot, and it helps to support our team really in this situation. Okay, bye bye, thank you.